Everyone, and we're about 1 minute off of 2 o'clock, but I will go ahead and try to get everything lined up here and get everything going. Of course, I've got that wonderful glare in there behind me, which is just great for this 2 o'clock show. Might have to get me a curtain one of these days to try to fix that. Let's see here. Well, we will just run with it. So, first thing, I hope that you guys went through YouTube, through my channel, in order to get to the video, get to this YouTube Live. Today, I have updated and customized, and I'm trying to optimize the YouTube and trying to make it better and trying to make it stand out and trying to get it to work for me as I still try to get this glare out of the background. Nonetheless, on today's live, we are going to discuss the October 2020 housing market report. So the reason I do this is so that you do not have to run all over the internet, scour the internet for mixed information about how our housing market is going, how the economy is going. You won't have to scour the entire internet looking for that stuff, because I present it to you, and I present different information to you every week on this YouTube Live. So it is an honor for me to do it, and I hope it is a privilege and it is helpful for you to get this information. My name is David Hittle, a realtor with United Real Estate Louisville. Love the signs, they help. And again, today on our YouTube Live, we will be talking about the October 2020 housing market report. Now, this is officially the November 2020 housing market report, but they have no information in the report about November. And that is because we are currently in November. Imagine that. Before I get started, however, today we're going to discuss that October 2020 housing market report. However, I want to report to everyone who's watching, everyone who will watch, that there will be no newsletters sent out next, which is the 22nd. I won't be sending out a newsletter, and we will not be doing a YouTube Live next Sunday. I will be out of state and out of the office, and therefore I won't be available to be able to do these and to do those. I will continue to be posting on my Facebook page, so if you are not a liked individual on my Facebook page, you can do that. You can go to facebook.com/Shop Kentucky Homes. All one word, facebook.com/Shop Kentucky Homes. Like that page, and you will get all of the information that I provide on a daily, sometimes multi-hourly basis. And then we will be back here Sunday, November 29th, to finish out the end of this month. So, the market report, housing market report, it's a V. Major financial institutions are calling for a V-shaped recovery. As you know, we were going up. We were doing great. Unemployment was low. Stock market was surging. Your 401k probably looked really good. at the beginning of this year. And then the pandemic hit. States, the country shut down, caused a lot of havoc, a lot of disruption. Everything started dropping. Stock market, unemployment went up, etc., etc. You all know the drill. You all lived it. Unfortunately, we all lived it. But we are seeing a V-shaped recovery. Quarter three is going gangbusters. It is absolutely amazing what is happening quarter three. And we talked about this back at the beginning of the year, that we were going to have a V-shaped recovery. What we are having is actually a V-shaped recovery. Josh Zermbrunn, national economics correspondent at the Wall Street Journal, quote, news stories often describe the coronavirus global economic downturn as the worst since the Great Depression. Yet, for many, the comparison does more to terrify than it does to clarify. The Great Depression lasted years and years and devastated the lives of millions, almost everyone. I believe they said it was something around a quarter of the population, over 25% of the population was unemployed during the Great Depression. I believe at our height of our unemployment, we got up to maybe 15%, which is still too high of number. But it was nothing. This was nothing compared to the Great Depression. The only thing that really led us out of the Great Depression was World War II. And World War II forced the country into an awakening on an industrial mass of building every piece of war equipment that we were going to need. And that is what really got the economy going. Again, what Josh Zermbrunn says, the comparison of the Great Depression to what we are experiencing today does more to terrify than to clarify. This has been over in months versus what occurred during the Great Depression. And even during all of this, even during this economic downturn, even during this global pandemic, FICO credit scores have gone up. April of 2019, your average FICO credit score was around 706. It stayed the same throughout most of 2019 into 2020, where we went up 2 points to 708. July of this year, we're up to 711. So we may be seeing FICO credit scores even during this pandemic period going up. Households used most of their stimulus checks. You received that stimulus check, $1,200 per person. You got $2,400 if you were a married couple. But households, most of their checks to pay down debt. That may have improved their FICO credit scores. 35% said they paid down debt, 29% said they spent the money, and 36% said they saved the money. Business applications in the United States are skyrocketing. Skyrocketing. Think about this. Business applications back around 2005 were about 600,000 business applications. These are people creating new businesses. And it spiked a little bit in 2006 and came down a little in 2007, came down a little in 2008, and fell into 2009, 2010. As 2011, 2012, it gently increased. We actually didn't get to 800,000 business applications until almost 2018. And ever since 2018, there has been an enormous spike in business applications to where this year we're up over 1.4 million business applications in the United States. That's amazing. That is amazing. People are creating new businesses in this climate of economic downturn and in this climate of global pandemic. People are creating new businesses. If that does not show the resiliency of the American people, of America, absolutely amazing. Consumer spending. Now, this is the change in consumer spending since January 1st of this year. So think about that. January 1st of this year, everybody wanting to spend all sorts of money. Everybody had a job if you wanted one. Everybody was making good money. Wages were up. The economy was starting to flourish like it had never flourished before. Now we're still in the midst of a pandemic. States are starting to shut down again. They're starting to get high cases, starting to shut down again. There's talk of a vaccine before the end of the year. So change in consumer spending. The worst change in consumer spending, according to the United States map that I'm looking at here, is in Alaska. Their spending in Alaska is down almost 15% since January 1st. The United States as a whole is down 3.7%. But you have places like Kentucky, we're up 1%. Indiana, our neighbor to the north, up 6.7%. Michigan, Indiana's neighbor to the north, is up 11% right now. Idaho is seeing a 10.7% increase in consumer spending versus January 1st of 2020. And actually, I was wrong. The worst state, worst place for change in consumer spending is actually Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. They are actually down almost 27% in consumer spending. So, individuals in Washington, D.C. are not spending at the same rate, or their spending has changed versus, say, Kentucky, where we're up 1% and our neighbor Indiana is up 6.7%. We're spending our money. Washington, D.C. is not spending as much. The Bureau of Labor Statistics weekly unemployment filings in the millions. Of course, as the pandemic hit, we were 3.3 million, jumped to 6.9. But ever since that 6.9 million mark, it has steadily decreased down to weekly filings. And it looks like this is the week of October, the end of October, 0.75. So about 750,000 unemployment filings versus where we were at in late March, early April at 6.9 million, then 6.6, and it dropped off from there. But that's the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So, in other words, people are not filing for unemployment now. They are finding work. They have stopped unemployment because either their jobs have called them back in, businesses, they started a new business, and they've stopped doing unemployment. But whatever their case is, unemployment filings are down, and they have been down since late March, early April. Currently receiving unemployment insurance, 24.9 million people. So almost 25 million people received unemployment insurance in the second week of May. 24.9 million people. That number is now down to 7.3 million people. Absolutely amazing how this economy and how our country is recovering. As a comparison's sake, 7.3 million is what we are at right now. In March, prior to the pandemic, we were at 3.1 million. So we're up 4.2 million people on unemployment insurance than we were in March at the height, or at the end, apparently, of a great economic recovery that we were experiencing in this country. The Federal Reserve Bank data from the Survey of Business Uncertainty suggests that the road forward is going to be a tough slog. Businesses hold tepid expectations for year-ahead employment and sales growth. Expectations are in fact so tepid that, based on the latest average projection, it will take firms more than 4.5 years to recover pre-employment levels. That's what the Federal Reserve Bank is saying. However, looking at housing, because this is what we want to focus on, is what the housing market is doing. What you may be thinking about doing, whether you're looking to buy or sell a home. The number of mortgages in active forbearance. This is, the government said the pandemic was not your fault, so we should not be having people being kicked out of their homes because of it. So the top the top number of mortgages in active forbearance, again, was the end of May, 4.76 million. Today, we are at 3.01 million. So it has fallen off a million, but it is steadily declining ever since that point. Percentage of overall forbearances is decreasing. Again, at the height, 8.47%. Now 5.83%. So the percentage of forbearances is decreasing with all the major sectors. And of the 5.76 million families that were granted forbearance, this is what happened upon the expiration of the forbearance plan. About 2.4 million had their forbearance extended. 2.3 million were removed while performing. So 2.3 million were removed from forbearance. They no longer needed forbearance, and therefore they were taken off of forbearance, and they are still paying their mortgage. 500,000, 500,000 people being taken off forbearance, paid their mortgage off in full. That's a big number. 500,000 people paid their mortgage off after the forbearance period. 481,000 had their forbearance expired. They became delinquent, but they are delinquent in loss mitigation. And then 80,000 expired and then went delinquent and are probably in the foreclosure being kicked out phase. 80,000 versus the 5.7 million that we may have been talking about. The likelihood of having a foreclosure crisis is about 0%. And this is by Ivy Zellman, the founder of Zellman and Associates, one of the top housing authorities in the country. So the issue today, the issue for home buyers today, is the months of inventory of homes for sale. Nationwide, in May, we had the highest spike, 4.8 months of inventory. We were nowhere near that here in good old Louisville, Lexington area, Kentucky. Nowhere near 4 months worth of inventory. Today, nationwide, 2.7 months of inventory, making it a seller's market, of course. Here in the Louisville-Lexington area, Louisville-Lexington market area, we are at 1.58-ish months of inventory. Nowhere near the almost 3 months nationwide. We are in the midst of a high-stakes seller's market here in our Louisville-Lexington market area. That being said, what does that mean for a home buyer? For a home buyer, that means you may experience a bidding war. That is where you make an offer and somebody else makes an offer and probably somebody else makes an offer, and the listing agent comes back to all of you and said, we have received multiple offers. We need your highest and best. And at that point, the buyers all put in their highest bid, sort of like an auction. How much are you willing to spend on this big, beautiful house that you want? That's a bidding war. For sellers, that's a great thing. For sellers, their list price may go up because of a bidding war. For buyers, that's a bad thing. It means you more than likely are going to pay more money for the house of your dreams. Just the way it is. That's the way our market is right now. And it does not look like it's going to get any better anytime soon. Year-over-year change in listings. Total listings, we are down almost 40% versus this time last year. New listings, however, are only down about 5% versus last year. So doing somewhat okay in the new listing category. Here are the top 3 reasons that homeowners are not putting their house on the market. Why would you not be putting your house on the market right now? This is according to Zillow. 34% said life is too uncertain right now. I understand. Life is some uncertainty. That is true as well. Financial uncertainty, where the economy is going. Will home prices continue to go up? Will they all of a sudden decrease? Don't know. That's what they're worried about. 25% COVID-19 health concerns. So the 34% life is too uncertain. I can't really help you there. Life will always be uncertain. That's the fun of life. 31% with the financial uncertainty. Every expert that we have looked at, we looked at them last month. We'll look at them again this month. Every housing expert has said that home prices will continue to increase. So if you're looking to buy a home, you can expect that the home that you are looking at today will probably cost you more next year, year after that. That's what the experts are saying. Over the next 12 months, experts are saying home prices are going to continue to increase. 25% the COVID-19 health concerns. Your realtor and real estate agents and realtors and even their clients have been dealing with the coronavirus, COVID-19 virus for at least 6 months now. If you go shopping, if you're going grocery shopping, if you go outside your home, we're all wearing the mask. You can't really understand anything that we're saying when we're wearing the mask, but we are all wearing the masks, and our clients are too. A whole lot of the listings that I look at on a daily basis are saying follow the CDC guidance, must wear a mask, must wear gloves, use the hand sanitizer, all of that. Real estate agents, realtors that are working, they are following the precautions and are trying our best to keep you safe, to keep your safe, to keep everyone safe that is either going in and out of your home, showing your home, open houses, all of that, we are following CDC guidance. We are following National Association of Realtor guidance. They are even providing us guidance on how to do this safely. And that is what's important there. Jeff Tucker is the senior economist at Zillow. He says that homeowners who feel life is uncertain right now may think they can still get a strong price if they delay selling until they have more clarity. The catch is that waiting to sell may raise the cost of a trade up. So what does that mean? Home prices are increasing. So you could wait and sell your home maybe for more later on. But the problem is that later on, the new home that you're going to buy, because you're not going to sell your home and then go live on the street. The home that you're going to buy when you sell your home, whether it is a trade up or a downsize, is going to cost you more because home prices are going up. This fall's record low mortgage rates, which make a trade up more affordable on a monthly basis, are not guaranteed to last. And we saw that. If you got my newsletter today, we saw that. What happened? There's now talk of a coronavirus vaccine. And on that news, the mortgage interest rates this week increased a six-tenths of a point. That is a big increase. That's more than 0.5%. According to the amortization calculator that I did on I believe it was a $200,000 loan, that 0.6% increase cost you over $2,000 in the lifetime of your loan. From last week to this week, your home may have cost you more than $2,000 more because of the mortgage interest rates. Looking at those projections again, Zillow is now projecting a home price increase of 7% over the next 12 months. Zellman, we talked about him earlier, 5.9%. Freddie Mac, 5.5%. This is increases. So think about that. If your house is right now worth $100,000, Zillow is saying that your house will increase $7,000 over the next 12 months. That's what they're projecting. So think about that. If your house is worth $200,000 by the end of the year, or through the end of this upcoming year, through next year, your house may be worth $214,000. On a $300,000 house, you're looking at $21,000 if Zillow's projections are accurate. The National Association of Realtors projecting 4.7%. 7. MBA 3.1. And finally, CoreLogic. They said that we were going to have that home prices were going to decrease over the next 12 months by 6% earlier in the year. They're now saying that home prices are only going to go up 0.2%. They're the outlier in the expertise field there. MBA, which is the Bankers Association. So it's a group of bankers, mortgage bankers. The mortgage bankers forecast for 2021 says prepare for rising mortgage rates. And these people should know they're mortgage bankers. They're saying you should be preparing for rising mortgage interest rates. They indicated back in 2019 that mortgage interest rates were going to be at 3.7%. For 2020, they predicted 3%. For 2021, they're predicting 3.3. For 2022, 3.6. And for 2023, 3.9. So getting back towards that 4% range over the next 3 years. That would be bad if you haven't bought your house by then. Because that means, think about that. If a 0.6% increase cost you about $2,000 on your mortgage, think about what a full 1% will do to you. That is a lot of money more that you are going to spend because you didn't buy your house when these mortgage interest rates were low. And housing affordability is still good. It is still there. Where our index is 159 right now, down slightly from last year, 162. But we're at a 159. We're in great, stable housing affordability area right now. The higher the number, the worse housing affordability is. So 159 is actually quite good. Mark Fleming is a chief economist at First American. He says the good news is that affordability remains significantly higher than 1 year ago. Okay. Mostly due to falling rates. 1 month does not make a trend, but this month's decline in affordability signals that the current dynamics producing faster house price appreciation may begin to erode the affordability gains of recent years. So you have to think about that. Home affordability is based on many factors. It's based on credit score. It's based on wages. It's based on income. It's based on housing inventory. All of that, Mark Fleming says, the decrease, it's not a trend, but the decrease may signal that current dynamics producing faster home price increases or appreciation may begin to erode the affordability gains of recent years. And that's something that we need to look at. If home prices continue to increase, but buyers no longer can afford those home prices that are going up and up and up, that means home prices may start to trickle off. And that would be bad if you're thinking of selling your home. If you're thinking of selling your home and today it's worth $200,000, but because buyers can no longer afford $200,000, your home starts to drop in value down to $190,000, $195,000. You just lost money. You lost profit. So coming in December, right here in the early part of December, I will be receiving my winter buyer and seller's guides. Now, these buyer and seller's guides are amazing. I love them. They are chocked full of so much information, and we update them every season. So we have a spring, a summer, a fall, and a winter buyer and seller's guide. We even have millennial buying guides for the young people out there. So those will be coming soon. If you want one of those, all you need to do is send me an email. Send me an email because then that way I will have your email and will be able to send either a buyer or a seller's guide to you when they become available here in the first part of December. So if you want one of those, just send me an email. My email is easy. Shop Kentucky Homes. All one word, all full. Shop Kentucky Homes at yahoo.com. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. So that concludes the October 2020 Housing Market Update Report. I hope that it helps you to understand the dynamics of this market and where this market is going. Because most of the experts are saying that home prices are going to continue to increase. Most of the experts are saying that interest rates are now going to start to increase rather than decrease. They have been going down. They're going to start to increase, and we've already seen that. Again, 1 week is not a trend, but for mortgage interest rates to increase 0.6% may be a sign that the record low interest rates are done. They're gone. And that could be bad if you're thinking about buying. If you're sitting on the sidelines wondering when we should buy, now is that time. And if you were thinking about selling, it's the same thing. You need to sell today and buy relatively soon. That way you are not hit with the increase in home prices. You're going to sell your home at a good price. Home prices are going to continue to increase, but you're going to get into your new home in time to see those home prices increase on your new home as well. So if you ever have any questions whatsoever, you can always email me. You can call me. You can text me. All of my information is in the description of this video and every video that I've made. I hope that I have helped you in your decision making. And if you need a realtor, I am here for you. And I will work my tail end off for you. All my clients know that. Past clients know that. And again, next week, we will not have a YouTube Live because I will be out of state and out of the office. But we will be back before the end of November, November 29th, for our next YouTube Live. And we will see where this housing market is going at that point. So everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out my YouTube channel. I have completely revamped it. I'm going to continue to keep revamping it. I'm trying to optimize it as best I can. It's going to be good. I know it. Everybody have a great day.